Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy, NerdMode, and I'm going to be doing the next episode of Battlefield News, a video series where I'll be talking about changes and or events within a particular Battlefield title. So without further ado, let's get started. So of course, starting things off, there was a game update on March 3rd, 2015 that affected all platforms for Battlefield 4. So of course, starting things off in the General Improvements tab. Added Squad Obliteration Game Mode. Added support for new player servers ranked 10 and lower. Added support for matchmaking into ranked servers in addition to standard official. Various anti-cheat improvements implemented. And combat system now temporarily disables squad spawning when squad mate is in combat. And combat system now temporarily disables medic bag healing based on damage taken and incoming suppression increase. And combat system now temporarily disables first aid kit healing based on damage taken. Decouple vehicle aiming from turning option added. Added mastery dog tags for several weapons that were previously missing. Added 3 new premium playlists, large scale battles, the battlefield, and close quarters. Fixed an issue that would sometimes cause an error about stats not fetching if connecting to a session after immediately being disconnected. Fixed an exploit related to capture the flag / obliteration exploit using the mortar, the MAV, and the EOD bot. An issue pertaining mainly to PC. Several AMD mantle optimizations, as well as various graphical performance improvements. Now transferring over to the PlayStation 4 / Xbox One. Fixed a case where the battle dash would not show after signing out of a profile while in the rent of server session. Fixed renaming inconsistencies with server browser and quick match for Conquest Large. Now transferring over to Xbox One specifically, fixed an issue where the user would sometimes not enter Friends Online session when joining through Friends list, as well as fixed an issue where Digital Premium Edition did not give premium access on Battlelog. Now transferring over to the Xbox 360 specifically, fixed an issue where performing a sign-in change during a game would sometimes result in endless black loading screen. Fixed an issue where multiple users in the same squad would crash if the squad leader disconnected from a full server. Added option for player to separate toggle the slowdown or auto rotation components of aim assist. Server admins can now enforce a disable of the auto rotation component on ranked servers. And finally, this affects all consoles. Fixed an issue where it was not possible to join a rented server that had a password set. Now taking a look at the audio tab, footsteps. Significantly improved audio of footsteps for enemies and friendlies so that they can easily be heard. Also fixed an issue where grenade explosions or other loud noises would mute footsteps. Fixed an issue where EOR music would not play in Capture the Flag. And finally, this issue pertains primarily to PC. Team Deathmatch / Squad Deathmatch tension music now correctly playing for all teams in Team Deathmatch and Squad Deathmatch. Now transferring over to the Art tab. Updated the shading for many of the dog tag country flags to make them look more accurate. Animation. Cleaned up fast side-to-side movements of the character in third person. Fixed an issue where tracers would incorrectly show up on the bullet impacts. Now taking a look at the user interface. Fixed an issue where the soldier camouflage selected would change to default between rounds. Fixed the cropped ready status on the F-35 and J-20 jet fighters so that they are now fully visible. Fixed a HUD-related issue that would sometimes occur when players on the same server would use the FLIR or infrared night vision. Dog tags will now display stats both in-game and in the menus. Several hit indicators and crosshair improvements. Fixed an issue where a player's health is displayed incorrectly when they get hit while regenerating health. Updated HUD logic for several weapons so that they show overheat messages correctly. Tweaked jet HUDs to be more clear. Improved scout helicopter crosshairs. This pertains to all consoles. Removed an incorrect reference for parachute in the customization screen. Deploy screen. Added deploy screen advanced options to show vehicle passengers, more details on occupants and squad mates, as well as improved squad mate selection when in a vehicle. Transferring over to the Vehicles tab, all helicopters have new, more agile physics applied. You can now do barrel rolls and also loops. Transferring over to the Weapons tab, animation updates for M412 and SW30. Fixed an audio bug where the air missiles or TV guided missiles would play multiple times for one shot. Fixed an audio bug where the FAC boat cannons would loop indefinitely. Adjusted the graphics for the Cobra red dot sight to make it more longer to more closely match the actual reticle. Removed small animation played when going into sprint for weapons that have a foregrip. Adjusted the QBZ95 foregrip position in first person. Fixed the RPK74 bolt cycle during fire animation. improved HUD clarity for red dot sights against snowy, bright backgrounds, and improved PlayStation 3/Xbox 360 look as well. This issue pertains primarily to the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4, fixed an issue where a player would be unable to switch back to the bow from the secondary weapon if spawning as a passenger in a vehicle, and finally, this issue pertains primarily to the Xbox 360. Fixed an issue where vehicle infrared night vision would not detect infantry on equal elevation properly. And finally, the last piece of information to talk about is that many of the maps in Battlefield 4, may that be the vanilla and some of the DLC maps, had their collision fixed when it comes down to it, and mainly that's due to the community providing feedback. Now, of course, I'm not going to go through every single map that was affected when it comes down to the collision detection and collision issues, so of course that is all linked down there in the description, and hopefully you guys will look through that and see if the issues that you are having problems with and the little rocks you are getting stuck on have been resolved. Now, transferring over to the netcode improvements. Now, DICE has definitely been having their hands full when it comes to this subject. They've tried many different things in the past, and it's definitely made the overall game a lot better. However, I think they've really hit it out of the park with this one, considering that it should really fix a lot of the issues that we as the players have been coming to find to be a big deal when it comes down to the overall gameplay mechanics. Now, DICE opted to go with a long-range network updates by adding a cone to the high-frequent updates of 30 Hz. Now, of course, I will have an image that will show what's going on and how I'm going to be explaining this, but this is basically going to be updating what you're seeing instead of updating everything on the map all at once. As well as network prioritization and filtering has been improved. This now prioritizes health/damage in enemy players and vehicles above all. Now, of course, with that said, vehicles now have a larger hemisphere shape for collision improvements. And finally, aiming down sights or zooming in sitting in a vehicle or on foot utilizes an even bigger range cone for better target acquisition at a distance. Now, of course, as a result of this, required bandwidth has been close to cut in half, which allows players with a less stellar network connection should have the ability to improve their overall ability. They should see also a very large improvement when it comes down to the overall game. And as a due result, allows these players to choose the high frequency update that went into effect many months ago when it comes down to updating the netcode. But anyway guys, that's really all the information when it comes down to the winter update. Hopefully you guys found the information useful nonetheless, and of course if you would like to read everything for yourself and check out all the articles, feel free to check the description of the video, considering that I will have all the articles linked down there for your viewing pleasure. But until the next episode guys, this has been NMO, and I'm going to be signing out guys. Peace.